road accident during his own theatrical training, and when he was trying to resume his training after he became a quadriplegic and lived with disabilities, but found that he kept encountering barriers in his theatrical education. And those barriers were not just of the physical or uh, debilitating kind, but were barriers of attitude, barriers of um, exclusion, barriers of discrimination, assumptions being made. And he decided to form his own company with a friend, and that company became Realwheels. And the purpose of Realwheels was to allow him the opportunities and to break down the barriers and be unlike any other disability theater company in the country, in that it didn't necessarily have to deal with strictly just disability theater as a construct, but also advocate on behalf of performers with disabilities, both on stage and behind the stage. And he was its first artistic director. And then the company, with James Sanders, they did a couple of award-winning productions I'll talk to you about. And his managing director, Rena Cohen, took over in 2014 and expanded the company in a really remarkable way, focusing more on advocacy and on community projects, where she eventually established a collective was established called the Real Voices Group. And this was, so there became two types of production. There were the professional productions, the world-class art that James Sanders was talking about, saying there's no reason that a disability theater company needs to be put in a box, but that we're as capable of producing top quality productions as anybody else. There's no barrier that can't be breached. And Rena brought the Real Voices shows from the community, and the shows were the Real Voices shows. I believe there were 8 or 9 of them. The most recent one we'll be seeing clips from in a little bit were devised by the participants. The participants were almost all, if not all, living with disabilities, some visible, some invisible, but they wrote their own material and performed together as a collective. And the Real Voices team was made up of a lot of the same recurring people, so that they became like a family. And we just we just shifted, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit, to their latest show and our latest show, Real Voices Tune In, which ended up starting as a stage show and ending up as a full-fledged Hollywood digital musical variety show that was filmed entirely on Zoom by a professional crew and was very well received in its runs in April or in May, and just this past weekend at the Access Festival. So next slide, please. These are the professional productions. This is a timeline Starts with 2003, which is when James Sanders formed the company. The first production was Skydive, in which I'll put a pin in Skydive. It was an award-winning production that played in 8 cities across the country and duplicated an actor. It was an integrated cast. James performed in it, and an actor who was able-bodied. And integration is a huge part of our mandate with Realwheels. We want to be able to, and part of our mandate with the Academy, we want actors with disabilities to not just be limited to boxes, but to integrate with actors of all bodies. And that's one of the reasons why the Academy that we're starting has as its slogan, theater for everybody. Aside from the obvious play on words of everybody, it is intended to allow for full integration. And we're also, just a quick side note, we're interested in inclusion. And what James wanted to do was create a world in the theater that reflected the world in which we live. The 25% of people in the most recent census identified as having a disability. And as the boomers get older and as Gen X and the millennials get older, that number is just going to get larger because we're living longer and able-bodied people are only temporarily able-bodied. I can speak to that, having lived for 45 years and as an able-bodied person, and now I view everything very much through lived experience. And I'm still learning on the job, but I hope to bring that to Realwheels and all we do. The rest of the timeline, Spine in 2010 was James's second performance. It incorporated multimedia. I mentioned I worked in film and theater, and that our Real Voices Tune In went from being a stage show, but because of the COVID crisis, we had to pivot and turn it into a full-blown film, digital Hollywood musical. And the roots with Realwheels and multimedia and breaking out of boxes date back to 2010. Then Rena Cohen took over the theater and did Jessie award-winning productions of Whose Life Is It Anyway, which is the classic about assisted dying. Recalculating, Creeps, David Freeman's 45-year-old classic of disability theater, but the first fully integrated production, again reflecting James's desire to create a world on stage that reflects the world we live in. And forgive me, I go off on a tangent there. Part of that, it's not just the actors with disabilities, but actors of equity seeking groups, whether they be BIPOC, whether they be LGBTQ plus, whatever equity seeking marginalized group. exists and is interested in seeing itself on stage. Realwheels is interested in representing him on stage and behind stage. 2018 sequence, you'll actually, one of the actors in this phenomenal play is going to be speaking during the Academy party. Amy Amanti, who is the president of our wonderful board of directors. Again, I started by saying Realwheels is one of the most complicated, remarkable, but rewarding places I've ever had the privilege to work, and that is largely because of the people, the staff, the board of directors. They're always forward thinking, they're very supportive, and they are a representative mix of um, these equity seeking groups that are feel comfortable and feel like they have a home. And the purpose of our introducing ourselves to you is to invite you to, if you're looking for a home and haven't found one that accepts you, I will say Realwheels is the place that I have found in my artistic career and in my life that has accepted me for who I am. And we invite you to be part of our world, which hopefully reflects the rest of the world. And then our most recent professional production in 2019 is Act of Faith, which is a new Vancouver-based play. And I'll show you a shot from that, but it dealt with someone whose healing was, or whose disability was healed by faith, and the doubts and quandaries that that gives those who believe in the miracle and don't believe in the miracle. So there, from this list of shows, you can see that Realwheels doesn't want to be put in a box and refuses to be put in a box. And since James started this company 20 years ago and put on skydive and toured across Canada with it, Realwheels has been breaking ground. Next slide, please. This is skydive. This is a picture. It's an image of two actors, one able-bodied, one quadriplegic, who appear to be flying. And they were a special design was made by them by a gentleman named Sven Johansson and his team that literally created the illusion of a quadriplegic skydiving and flying through the air. It was a brilliantly designed apparatus. They got a special award for it. And it's the signature Realwheels kind of image. It's from the first show, but it's integration of able-bodied and an actor with a disability. It's integration of ages. Next slide, please. And this is an image from Act of Faith, our most recent production. It's a huge professional looking image of the outline of a cross with for believers and non-believers. Some are in wheelchairs, some have walkers, some are in chairs. But it's a very striking image, and It's an image that is indicative of shows that are designed to make you laugh, make you cry, make you think, but leave you talking about them and debating them long after the curtain has gone down. Next slide, please. Excuse me just a second. Community projects. I've talked about a lot of this. Wheel Voices and the Playwriting Circle. Wheel Voices is the collective that's kind of a company within a company of Realwheels. And it's people that have come from the performers with disability communities and who write their own material, usually themed around the Comedy on Wheels was a stand-up comedy type show. Sexy Voices was a more burlesque show, challenging again people's perceptions and refusing to let Realwheels be put in a box. We both individually as performers with disabilities, or as crew members, or as directors, or even as an artistic director with a disability. We refuse to be put in boxes and be told we can't do something. James had ambitions for this company 18 years ago, and having just started in this position 3 months ago, I am getting my feet wet and I'm learning a lot about the community and about myself and about what we can do. But I can tell you that Realwheels is the best on the job teacher there is, and the resilience and the motivation and the quality of work of this company is something else. Playwriting Circle is, again, we had to pivot because of COVID to online, but it's a 12-week program that we run every year, starting at the end of September through the beginning of January, or beginning of December, sorry, which meets and works on projects with a hired dramaturge from the Canadian Playwrights Guild. We try to mix it up with getting different playwrights so that the same people can work on the same material if they want, or work on different things. But these are two of the types of community projects that we do. And there's that split again in Realwheels. It combines professional world-class art productions, as James Sanders strive to do, and say we can compete on a stage with anybody. We don't want to be marginalized or told that we belong over there. We want to be center stage and judged on our own merits. So next slide, please. Okay, this is where I'm gonna audio describe a bit of this. This is 3 scenes from Wheel Voices Tune In, which was our most recent community show, but ended up, because of COVID, being our most recent professional show. It started a couple of years ago as a stage production, but with the COVID crisis, it ended up being put together with a dozen performers, each being filmed with Zoom cameras in their own homes, rehearsing in Zoom chat rooms, all being done by a professional crew that edited and sound mixed it. And it's the format that it takes is this time is a variety show, but it's a very subversive variety show. They did a parody of a number from the movie Chicago, only dealing with accessibility. I'm going to show you 3 clips from the show to give you a sense of the quality of work that they achieved. The first one is the comedic side of the show. It's a scene that's inspired from real events about a focus group, and it contains a number of silent actors and one actor playing, who's the actor who you'll get a chance to talk to during the Academy segment, Amy Amanti, also the president of our board. She plays, say, a focus group leader. Excuse me as a she plays the leader of the focus group, and she will be talking to a number of other people with a variety of disabilities, living with disabilities, and asking them questions. And I'll let the scene play out for itself. The second part, and I'll let you know when we're switching scenes, is an actor doing a dramatic, poetic recitation of a poem he wrote about his heart. The visual image is the actor delivering a dramatic monologue with animation, first of an anatomical heart and then of a rainbow caricature of a heart. And then finally, the closing number is a hip hop number, but it's a pop rap that ends up in going from solo rap into the show closing all cast ensemble number. So this is Real Voices. Tune in to sample for you. The focus group.
Can you guys hear that? Yes? Okay.
Angela, we don't get the audio.
Yeah.
Angela?
Angela? I'm sorry, we're having technical difficulties, which is the name of the game when it comes to film and video and digital.
Angela, can you hear us?
Angela.
Angela, there is no audio.
Oh, that's really weird. Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay, don't worry. You might want to start it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me stop sharing and make sure.
It's okay.
Sorry about that, folks.
Wait, that's the wrong screen. One sec. Technical difficulties.
It's okay.
Okay, sound should be shared. Let's try that again.
Disabilities.
Can you guys hear it? Yes? Okay. We'll get this done.
Welcome, everyone, welcome to today's government-sponsored accessibility consultation. We are pleased and honored to have you here today to give feedback. And so to that end, we are proud to announce that each of you will be taking home a $5 spa gift card with our thanks to be used for any purchase $200 and up. Accessible bathrooms are located outside these doors. Then take a left down the long, dark hallway about 100 feet, which will lead you to the underground tunnel that will take you under the street and across to the other side. The first door on the right is your bathroom. Please feel free to make yourself comfortable and move any cleaning supplies or toilet paper rolls that might be in your way. There is a second accessible bathroom, which is located 2 blocks away down at the mall. We're going to allot 15 minutes for each break. Let's begin. Question 1. Choose which of the following accessibility features are the most important to you. Remember, you can choose only one. A. Accessible housing. B. Income supplement. C. Automatic door openers.
My heart gave up on me. Life itself is that rhythm in our chests, that tiny drum. Ba-rum-pa-pum-pum. This is the size of a fist, holding the rope that pulls our tears, rings our joy. If there's even anything to enjoy anymore, when your heart gives up on you. Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Now, there's a pain at my shoulder, like a scaly lizard dug deep, laying its fat, callous barb inside my soft heart, changing the beat of my drum. Pa-rum-pa-pum. Pum? A gentle drum. Pum-pum. But not going to surrender. So full of life, of hope. I want to run and scream and shout. I want to play and fight and dance and love. Rum-pa-pum-pum, this new drum. Rum-pa-pum-pum. Reminds me of a time when I gave up on my heart. Lost a jewel that sparkled even in the dark. Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. I gave up on love, laughter, sound around. Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. So this time, rum-pa-pum-pum. This time, my heart, rum-pa-pum-pum. My heart gives up on me. Pop. Drop my swords and disconnect. Letting go, I won't forget. I raise this drum, another one, rum-pa-pum-pum, and thump and pound these feelings around in every nook, in every rum-pa-pum-pum, in everything. In spite of me is peace to be collected, joy still to find that won't give up on me, because I won't give up on it.
positivity, sing. Don't be afraid to move body and bring a little joy, light to the party. Life is hardly a walk in the park. See it getting pretty dark in shark-infested waters. Best to keep your daughters and sons off the street. We don't wanna be too afraid to run to shade or sun rays. Some complain, know it hurt to contain, but your words are pain. We don't want anybody to go insane. We're left with a message, so what you saying? Please don't lay down and die. Some pray and cry, others too afraid to try. We may as well give it a shot. One life, one love, everybody listen up. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Ta ta ta. To do what you do, what you do. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Ta 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 ta. To do what you do, what you do. Tune in to the music within. Tune out, all the hate and the doubt.
All the hate and the doubt.
Tune in to where you're going, and don't forget about where you've been.
Where you been?
It's the last lap and you win. Remember who you are and where you been. Even if times are hard, you're losing. This rhyme can offer your mind amusement. Tune in to the music within. Listen to your heart, listen to your friends. Go out, enjoy life, you're living again. Might feel like giving in, that ain't right. Me, I pick up the mic, so take flight. Makes the weight in my shoulder feel light. Like whoa, there could be no other way to go. Behold, the scenery to the right, and to the left is a whole lot of love from family, friends, and God up above. When push comes to shove, life gets hard. Keep doing your thing regardless.
Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Ta ta ta.
To do what you do, what you do.
Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Ta 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 ta.
To do what you do, what you do. Tune in to the music within. Tune out, all the hate and the doubt.
All the hate and the doubt.
Tune in to where you're going, and don't forget about where you've been.
Where you been?
Tune in to the music within. Tune out, all the hate and the doubt.
All the hate and the doubt.
Tune in to where you're going, and don't forget about where you've been. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, yeah. Tune in. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tune in.
Those were 3 different clips from Wheel Voices Tune In. Sorry, I had technical difficulties and had computer on backup. So I'm back with you. The thing I would like to point out about that show is that during the rehearsals, because of COVID, during the shooting, during the scene, no one ever left their home. That was shot and edited seamlessly and professionally, entirely via Zoom. And that's the type of work that we're doing here at Realwheels. I realize that this is pushing us past the time that I'd love to be able to tell you more about Realwheels, but I'm going to pass it to Michele Fontana, who is the head of the Acting Academy, and have him introduce you to one of the most exciting projects that we have currently in our pipeline and invite you to be a part of that. To Michele,
Thank you so much, Thomas, for this introduction and for sharing with us Realwheel past and also vision for the future. My name is Michele. I have short gray hair, dark blue rimmed eyeglasses, and today I'm wearing a light blue short. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the Acting Academy. It's very exciting and a unique program that aims to offer professional acting training to anybody that self-identifies with the disability community and or who is capital D, small d, deaf, including but not limited to people with disabilities, disabled people, people with hidden disability, and neurodiverse individuals. This program desires to foster systemic change, increasing the direct present participation and representation of diversity in the creative landscape. Now, I'm going to speak with you about this program with two incredible people. One is Amy Amantea. She's the board chair of Realwheel, and you have already heard her voice during the beautiful clip that Thomas shared with us. And the other one is Eva Lanaway, and she's the program assistant of the Academy. Thank you both of them for taking the time to be with us and to share with us some of this very important information. Please feel free to ask questions anytime in the chat if this is a communication strategy that works for you. Otherwise, we're going to have sometimes at the end of this event for anybody to try to ask us any question that might have. And now I pass the virtual microphone to Amy to explore why Realwheel has decided to offer this program. Go, Amy.
Thanks, Michele. Good afternoon, friends. Pleasure to be in a space with you all. As has been mentioned, I'm the current board president of Realwheels Theater Society and really proud to be a part of the organization. I am, as you may have noticed from the film that was just shared, an actor that identifies with disability. I am legally blind and wasn't always. I was an actor as a sighted person and then reinvented myself as an actor as a person without sight. And so one of the things that I really appreciate in my journey with Realwheels is that Realwheels is very much follows nothing about us without us. So they're not creating a program because they think it's in the best interest of folks with disabilities. It was about communicating with the community itself, asking the question, is this something you think would be a valuable way of training actors with disabilities? And that really became obvious to the theater company as we kept getting asked for advice on who could be cast. So for example, a theater company would call us up and they would say, I'm going to put on a show, a production of Teenage Dick, and I need to cast an actor in a wheelchair. Can you recommend somebody? So we kind of became the go-to for recommending actors with disabilities and recognized that the pool was pretty small. And so why is the pool pretty small? Well, we are all fairly familiar with systemic barriers. Access to training has been a barrier for many folks. Is it too expensive? Quite possibly. The times of days that training is available might not be accessible for stamina reasons. The physical space may not be accessible. So I mean, that's just three of some of the biggest barriers. Accessing materials and accessible formats. Those kinds of things are all barriers to mainstream artistic education. And so I think what Realwheels really tried to do was connect with the community of artists with disabilities that we currently have and said, hey, folks, would it be essential, important, of use to you to have a high quality training program so that you can learn the skills and compete in auditions with every actor that is available in the city? And that's really the ultimate goal, is that it's lovely to play characters with disabilities, but it would be a really, really great thing in the future to just be able to represent our communities as they exist. So I'd love to be able to play, the sister of the bride. So what if she's blind? She wasn't written for disability, but that is the step in the right direction for authentic casting and authentic representation on our stages. And so Realwheels is making a true effort to bring this really high quality, top of its class trainers to the community based on the community's recommendation, and the community also supported the design of this particular project. So it's designed to be inclusive from the get-go. With that, I think I'll throw it back over to Michele to share a little bit about how you can get involved in the Acting Academy. Should you feel that that's something that is a calling to you in your heart. My experience with Realwheels has been of such value and such transformation in my own life that if you have any desire at all to be on stage or to just boost your own self-confidence in any way that you think will help you in your life, you may want to consider applying for this academy. Michele, back over to you.
Thank you so much, Amy. This is Michele speaking again. Thank you so much, Amy, for highlighting one of the key features of the Academy. I'm gonna now to present you a little bit of the structure of the Academy, but what is important to understand is that we really believe that we are gonna to develop this Academy together with our student. We really believe that the instructor, the staff, and the student will share equal responsibility in creating something that hopefully is going to have a real impact and foster systemic change. Couple of practical information. What's the core structure of the Academy? The Academy is going to last 3 years, and every year we're going to offer 3 core modules in acting, movement, and voice. On top of these 3 core modules, for the first 2 years, we're going to offer another term, what we call the fourth term. And that is very important. This goes back to what Thomas was saying about the fact that Realwheels believes in an integrating company, about what Amy was saying about the fact that we want to represent the world as it is. And so in the 4th term, we're going to try to bring together our student with acting students from other schools to work together, to explore together a small specific topic of acting. It can be storytelling, it can be stand-up, it can be anything. But the idea is to make sure that our students do not spend 3 years in a silo, and that they are ready as soon as the academy is finished to go out and to be in any stage they might choose. Another things that I want to highlight is that we are also trying to offer our students some other skills, not just acting skills, but also we want to help them to understand how they can apply for a grant, how they can get an agent, how they can succeed at casting. And so during the summer, we're going to offer panels to provide this information to the student. All these are very big and ambitious issues and topic. And how we're going to do that? Well, the key message that I want to put out today is that we are going to find a way to accommodate you. The key idea behind this program is radical acceptance, that you are enough the way you are. Nevertheless, this is a professional program. And so we expect that you are going to challenge yourself. You expect that you are going to take this program seriously to grow together. A few technical information. The program will start in September 20, 2021. It's going to happen in Vancouver. How much does it cost? Nothing. The program is completely free. How many people are going to be part of this program? Between 10 and 15. What are we looking in the applicant? The first thing that we're looking in the applicant is a true passion for theater. Everything else will come after. When is the application deadline? The last day of June, June 30th. And speaking about the application process, I'm now going to pass the mic to Eva, that is going to give you some key information on how to apply to this. Go for it, Eva.
Thank you so much, Michele. This is Eva speaking. I am the program assistant for the Academy. I'm also a Caucasian woman with long brown hair, and today I'm wearing a white sweater. So just thanks again to Thomas and Amy for their insight. I really appreciate them taking the time to talk about all of this today. And so I'm just going to go a little bit through the application process. So our application requires a bit of baseline personal contact information, and then 3 specific files that you'll upload through the link on the website, which I'll I'll place some links in the chat box, and if you have any questions as to how to get there, you can also email me, which I will put in the chat as well. So the personal information is so we can ensure that you qualify and that we have a method to contact you regarding your application. And again, if you require any assistance or you have further questions, just contact me as soon as possible or put a message in the chat. So the files that we need are a headshot. This can be a professional headshot if you have one, or a selfie is just fine. And then we'll also need a 1-minute audio or video introduction, and the format is completely flexible for you. Whichever works best for you is perfectly fine. And then we need a 1 to 2 minute video audition. It can be a scene or a monologue of your choice that you connect with. You're allowed to have a reader in your scene, but the monologue is of course just you. And we do recommend that the script be published work as opposed to original work, just for ease of the selection committee. You know, makes it a little bit easier on their front, but there are also limits to the file sizes that you can upload in the application. But of course, if there are any issues with that, please email me as fast as possible so that we can make sure that your application can make it to our June 30th deadline, as Michele said. So a couple tips for the photos and the videos. We do recommend that unless you have access to a camera, that you use your cell phone. It's the best way to capture and record the photos and the videos. And we will advise against the use of a laptop or webcam camera, just so that we can make sure that we see you as clearly as possible. And so make sure that you have some natural light in front of you, or a lighting source in front of you as opposed to behind you, so that it minimizes some of those shadows on your face. And as I said, a headshot or a selfie is fine as long as you're centered in the frame. And then another piece that might be of assistance is contrasting the colors on your outfit with the wall, just so that you're further visible to the selection committee. And on our application page, we also have a few resources, a couple links to some self-audition tape websites. But again, you can contact me directly if you'd like to discuss any other specifics, or you need additional help, or are having difficulty locating things on the website. That's totally fine. I can provide that technical assistance. And lastly, just ensure that you double check your files to make sure that you've uploaded the correct ones. And then it's okay to try more than once when making your videos and your audio. That's totally fine. We expect that it's a bit of a process sometimes. And as Michele said, the deadline is June 30th at 11:59 p.m. PST, so Vancouver time. And we're looking to accept, as he said, 10 to 15 students. So we expect that the results will be officially communicated to all the candidates in about the beginning of August. But unfortunately, depending on the number of applications, we're not going to be able to send each applicant an evaluation of the full application process. But again, if you have any additional questions, field them towards me. My email is academy@realwheels.ca. That's ACADEMY at Realwheels, REALWHEELS.ca. That's everything from me. I'll just put some links in the chat and my email as well. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Eva. Remember that what we really want is for you to succeed. So if you have any question, if you have any doubt, contact us, and we will do our very best to support you in doing this and succeed in doing this. Now we would like, if there is any question, we would like to give the opportunity to anybody to ask question. You can put the question in the chat if this is communication that works for you. You can raise your hand in Zoom, or you can just unmute yourself and start talking. Whichever strategy is most effective for you, please feel free to adopt it, and we will try to answer any of your question if you have any. So let's give you a couple of minutes to see if you have any question.
while you're thinking of question, I just want to encourage you to follow Realwheels on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, our monthly newsletter. There are many ways to get involved, and I didn't even get a chance to get into the whole advocacy branch of it. But again, if you're looking for a place to belong, the Academy and Realwheels are somewhere that I am proud to now call home. And I encourage you, if you're looking for, as Amy said, your place, the Academy may be it.
Thank you, Thomas. I will start thanking not just the speaker, but also all the people that are supporting the Academy and the Realwheels. Realwheels obviously is possible because we have a lot of community partner and a lot of partner in the founding institution, and all these people are key for us and for us to be able to move forward and to offer program in the most accessible and possible way. We have a lot of community partner, among which Bud on the Beach that is partnering to offer us a space for the Academy, the Post at 750, a Touchstone Theatre, a National Theatre School, and we are also wanted to thank you, the Vancouver Foundation, that is one of the main funder of this initiative, together with the BC Arts Council, together with TD, and to all the private sponsors that are generously supporting us in this program. I don't see any question, and so Thomas, I might suggest to give back to you the virtual mic for a last word from you, and then probably, if this is okay with Angela, we might close this event. So mic to you, Thomas.
Thank you, Michele. As Michele has outlined, the Academy is one of the most forward-thinking projects that the Realwheels Society has undertaken, as has its brave move to hire an artistic director with a disability. I am very proud to represent Realwheels, and I am amazed every day with the people that I encounter, the staff, the tireless board, the cast members of the shows that you got a brief chance to see. We have an open door policy at Realwheels, whether it's by social media or our own web page. You can contact us. We appreciate you taking the time to listen to us today, and we'd like to invite you to join us in some capacity. If you don't know how, please email us, call us, whatever mode is accessible to you, but contact us. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love you to join our family. It's a really great place, as Amy said, to build confidence, and a really great place to put on quality world-class art. And how often do you get those two in one pack? So thanks for bearing with us through our technical issue, but thank you very much, most of all, to you for spending your time with us this afternoon. We hope to hear more from you, and we encourage you to contact us in whatever way possible. If you don't know what you want to do, contact us and talk to us, and we'll accommodate you. But thank you for sharing your time with us. We all appreciate it. Thank you to Michele and Ava and Amy for sharing this stage with me. Thank you to Angela for running our slides and video. And thank you most of all to you for spending the time with us. We hope you've gotten something out of it. We'd love to see or hear from you again. Have a great afternoon.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Angela.
I gotta figure out how to turn off the streams and stuff. So thank you guys so much for presenting.